The brave men and women who have served our country faithfully often need our help to successfully transition back into civilian life. Brave Radio is here to highlight veterans and the companies who are making a difference in our veteran community. And now, the host of Brave Radio, Eve Nasby.
Welcome to Brave Radio in conjunction with Military Mondays, where we're focused on engaging our veterans and making a difference in our business community. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, here to highlight the best and brightest that San Diego and this nation have to offer. We have a great show planned today, so let's get started. We have a very, very, very funny gentleman here with us today, Eric Knowles, and we also have, well, sort of an equally funny looking, no, I'm just kidding, the Tony Stewart.
I could take that.
The Tony Stewart. You've done so much for this veteran community, Tony. It's a pleasure to have you on our show.
Thanks a lot.
So we're here today. We're going to talk to Eric in just a second, but talk about Us for Warriors, Tony.
Okay, Us for Warriors is a group of uncompensated veterans that came together and decided to help out in different areas to fill the gaps. We look around, we see a lot of tremendous things going on in the veterans community, and we see holes here and there that we would like to fill. And then we also see some folks doing some great things that we would like to be force multipliers for them as well, and help collaborate and do some
So
great
give
stuff.
us some examples. I know people called you and 2 days later you had people to build a house.
That's a great example. There was a San Diego National Rebuilding Together Day, and San Diego Association of Realtors, they were ready to go. They were ready to put together and help renovate a home. A Navy veteran with 6 kids needed a home renovated. They needed volunteers. So we got contacted, I believe, on a Thursday, and we came through on a Saturday with the bulk load of their volunteers.
Wow, that's amazing. Tell us another story. What else do you guys do?
Well, we have all different kinds of things. For example, we do food drops in four different corners.
Food drops.
You got it. It's not a food bank.
Okay.
Because we don't have a facility where we want to
warehouse
and
right.
go through all of that stuff. What we do is we do a food. It's for warriors, food for warriors, if I can spit it out. And we do it, and we set up, we had 4 tons of food last time.
Oh my goodness.
And in 2 hours, we got rid of all the food. If folks didn't show up to collect the food, we already knew where people were at in that area who needed people to go there to deliver the food to them. So we made sure that the food got to where it needed to be. And we'll do that starting up again in August. We'll be doing it once a month in different corners of the county.
So your passion is to help veterans, and you brought with you Eric Knowles, who shares your passion, and he's wearing a T-shirt that says "Veterans of Comedy, No Laugh Left Behind." That's right. So tell us about that.
Yeah, the Veterans of Comedy is my comedy tour, not mine. It was started by my friend Will C. He's the founder of it. We're 4 military veterans turned professional stand-up comedians. I'm one. My buddy Will C. is the founder. We're happy to have Ebo Brewer, who won 2nd place in last year's World Series of Comedy in Las Vegas.
Wow.
And if anybody knows anything about stand-up comedy contests, everybody knows 2nd place was the real winner.
Well, I think you guys are like the Bob Hope of the days gone by, where you're actually going to the troops. And I think
that's what we do.
You're going to the Middle East?
We're going to the Middle East. They haven't told us exactly where yet.
Right.
But we'll be in the area of operations in the Middle East. Last year, we did 5 bases in Kuwait. We did Ethiopia, Djibouti, Africa. It's hard to even remember all the names of the places. It was just one hot Navy base after another.
Right, exactly.
But it was really nice to be able to wear the boots and get out in the sand again with those guys and just see all of the men and women doing all the little things behind the scenes.
Right.
And to be able to make them laugh. You know, we give them an hour-and-a-half show that makes them feel like they're back in the States just having a good time.
Right.
All of our comedy is not military-centric. But some of it is just because we have stories to tell. You know, you get a bunch of Marines together, we're going to tell some stories. Right. Usually.
So do we have the opportunity to watch you like on YouTube? Are there videos on your website?
Absolutely. Yeah. You can find me on YouTube. And
so we Google Eric Knowles.
Just Google Eric Knowles. I'm all over the place. Yeah. ERIK, Knowles like Beyonce. KNOWLES. I'm loving Beyonce. She's giving me so much more name recognition now. I don't have to spell it as much.
Tony, what would you add to that before we wrap this section up?
So the reason why Eric is here is because we're talking about Laughs for Warriors. It's our annual summer fundraiser at Marina Village Conference Center, July 29th from 6 until 11 o'clock. Dinner, freebies. Everybody, thanks to Curves of San Diego County, everybody that comes gets tickets to Del Mar. We've got a lot of other freebies. Man Mugs are giving mugs away and all that type of stuff. There's a special promo code that anybody that wants to, that can hear us, that wants to get their tickets, all they got to do is use the promo code BRAVE. And they'll be able to.
What a great promo code, Tony.
I'm telling you, I know what I'm doing. And if they use the promo code BRAVE, they'll be able to get discounts of 30% off the tickets. They need to go to www.laughs4warriors.org and pick up their tickets. The tickets are going, so we need to make sure everybody's doing that this week, because otherwise there's not going to be a space for them. And let me tell you real quick about Eric and these guys. We will have medics standing by because I've been to Eric's shows before, and reason why we got Eric is we all get a little sore because we laugh so hard.
All right, can you give us a sample? This is a G-rated show.
Well, then no. But no, but I do pride myself, and I have made 6 ladies pee their pants. 3 of them were pregnant, so I don't know if that counts. But,
no, it doesn't.
But yeah, I'm very excited. This is going to be a top-notch comedy show. We're having all 4 comedians from the Veterans of Comedy are going to be there. I told you about Will C. and Ebo Brewer and myself, and also J.R. Redwater, who is the #1 Native American comedian. He's the only Native American comedian with a stand-up special on HBO. He's one of the funniest guys out there, and he's a Navy veteran, too.
Right on.
He's got some great stories.
Right on. All right, well, Eric,
come see
Tony
me
Stewart.
get a pie to the face. That's what they said. You pack the house, we'll get a pie to the face.
All right, listeners, here we go. Let's get Tony Stewart that nice, whatever, Boston cream pie
whatever
right between
it
the
is,
eyes.
I
All
reluctantly
right.
take it
So
up.
www.laughs4warriors.org. Go online, get your discounted tickets, type in the code BRAVE, BRAVE. You guys will be good to go. Thank you for being a part of our show. Thank you for your passion for our warriors and our military.
Thank you. You got a great show, Eve.
All right, thanks.
Thanks.
We'll be back. You're listening to Brave Radio in partnership with Military Mondays, where we focus on matching veteran talent with innovative companies and comedians that make a difference in our community and in our nation. We're going to be right back with some people that you don't want to miss. Don't go away. Tired of your employees being late?
There was so much traffic.
Tired of poor excuses and poor presentations?
My kid ate my homework.
Tired of employees just not being able to handle the pressure?
You mean I gotta work a full 8 hours today?
Skip the hassles and excuses and hire individuals that are trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, adaptable to change, and focused on teamwork. Hire a veteran. More than just a patriotic gesture, hiring a veteran of the United States military comes with a host of benefits and tax credits and can provide your company with valuable leadership, organization, and accountability. Allow the brave to help your progressive business connect with qualified veteran candidates today and find out more by visiting thebrave.us. That's THEBRAVE.us.
When you're unemployed for a long time, you really start to go through some emotional changes. You start feeling like you're not worthy. I drove down to Workshops for Warriors and left with credentials in hand. And they asked if I needed a place to stay, if I needed some cash. It changed my life.
Workshops for Warriors is a nonprofit school in San Diego that trains and certifies veterans into advanced manufacturing careers, all at no cost to the veteran. Visit WFWUSA.org to learn more.
Welcome back. You're listening to Brave Radio in partnership with Military Mondays here on KCBQ AM 1170, streaming live on the web at am1170theanswer.com. Follow us on Twitter at Brave Jobs or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the latest news and trends. And as promised, we have in studio with us a gentleman named Jermaine Higgins from Hire GI. Hi, Jermaine.
How are you?
I'm great. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So I think it's interesting. Your background is pretty cool. So before we jump into what you're doing now, talk a little bit about what you did before you came here.
Well, before I got to San Diego, I was actually in the marketing professional. I started out with L'Oreal. I don't know if I told you what that.
L'Oreal, no.
Out of New York.
Your
I was on
makeup.
men. Yeah, no makeup. I was on the men hair care line.
Okay.
On Biolodge.
Okay.
Helped create the men Biolodge brand. And then got recruited to work for Yum Brands in Louisville, Kentucky. So I created the multicultural marketing for them.
Like Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yes.
Wow.
With Yum Brands. So I did the Hispanic, African American, and Asian platform, which was about 30% of their business.
That's a big deal.
It was.
Jeez.
It was. So I wanted to be competitive, wanted some international experience, and moved to Tokyo to be a marketing consultant around the Japanese bases.
You just decided you wanted more experience, so you moved to Tokyo.
Absolutely.
Did you speak Japanese?
Not at all.
Of course
Still
not.
don't. After 5 years, not one lick.
All right. So then you went there because you wanted to broaden your horizons.
Absolutely. And then the earthquake happened, and that contract dissolved real quickly.
Yeah, I'll bet.
And then I got an opportunity to run the Department of Labor for Asia Pacific. So I ran Guam, Okinawa, mainland Japan for the transition workshops.
Jeez. Is that all?
Yeah. So
goodness. Now you are a rock star, obviously, and now you're pouring all of those creative efforts and energies and intelligence into what?
Into Hire GI. So what Hire GI's job is to basically hire our GIs, right? So we host career fairs across the country. They will be primarily on the West Coast this year. But our focal point is to bring companies and bring our service members together so that they can get employment.
Wow. Why the passion for our military?
You know what? Being overseas after seeing each of the services and someone that really didn't have an idea of what our service members do, I took for granted a lot of the skill sets, if you will, that I gained in my career. And I wanted to be able to give back and be able to help them be successful.
That's amazing. You know what? And you didn't serve, right?
No.
So there's a whole bunch of us civilians out there that are helping military with no military background. We just have a passion. And I think a lot of people think they have to have a military background to understand and help, and you don't.
No.
Everybody can do something.
Absolutely.
And you're passionate about the employment piece. So you brought a lovely young lady with you today, and Debbie Turnow.
Yes.
Turnow. It's so nice to have you here.
Thank you. It's very nice to be here.
So tell us about your company and how you got connected with this guy.
Well, I work with technical engineering and analysis here in San Diego, and our main focus is to look for former military.
Yay.
Via either Marine Corps or Navy, since our focus is mostly communications. And in doing our outreach and looking at our marketing efforts for this year, one of the projects we needed to look at was job fairs.
Because you guys are hiring like crazy, right?
Yes, we've got a huge ramp up going on over the next 12 to 18 months with some of the proposed contracts that we have out there with hopes to win. And with that is going to be tremendous growth for our organization. So my job as manager of technical recruiting is to look at what outsource programs we can get involved with to get our exposure out there and to partner with companies who are also working with the veterans in our community. And that's how I came in touch with Hire GI.
And that's such a great testimony too, because you guys are hiring 50 plus people?
Correct.
And you need to hire veterans because of where you are in the industry. Correct. And your program is perfect for her, Jimmy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we're excited.
So I know that a lot of veterans who are listening and people who know people who've gone to career fairs kind of think sometimes they're a waste of time and they're intimidating, right? And so if you're not a networker, which some people, whether you're in the military or not, you walk into a room full of people you don't know and you just kind of stand in the corner. Right. You're not going to go up to a booth and go, "Hi, what kind of jobs do you have for me?" It might not be your personality. So what makes you different?
Yeah, what makes us different is when you pre-register to our career fairs.
And how much does it cost to pre-register?
Free as a veteran to pre-register. And you can upload your resume. And what we do is we send all the resumes to all the companies that will be in attendance. And we say, take a look at these resumes, pick 4 or 5 that you want to interview with, and we will schedule interviews for on-site.
Wow.
At our career fairs, we also have a LinkedIn photo. So if you don't have a professional LinkedIn photo, you have that ability to do that.
You know what? That is so important because, I mean, most people have good LinkedIn photos, but oh my goodness, if you've got a bad one, you're like, ooh, you probably shouldn't have anyone it all on there.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Well, that's a great service.
And what we also try to do is connect the companies with the participants. So when they walk in, we try to find out what are they really looking for. So, for example, if they're an engineer, we'll say, "Oh, we'll come over here. I know a great lady named Debbie.
Right.
She's looking for an engineer with a clearance."
So you're hand walking them through this stuff, so they're not stuck in a corner somewhere.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. It's a scary world going from the military into the civilian world. New vernacular, new people. You see people in suits. That's intimidating. Everything is new. So what else makes you different?
Well, what else makes us different is we keep our career fairs small. So we keep ours to 20 companies to create more of a boutique, intimate feel.
Yeah.
So it's not as intimidating for the service member. And we try to make it where both sides are able to interact and talk.
Yeah.
So that's the key for us.
That's so important. You get a chance to know one another. What are some of the benefits for the veterans?
Some of the benefits for the veterans is, one, if you come, you're able to network with these companies. You're able to learn a little bit more about the different organizations. And then, you could take advantage of some of the resources we give out at the career fairs, like the LinkedIn photos or some of the seminars we may have, or, at least get some feedback from the employers about your resume as we send those to the employers ahead of time. So there's a huge impact, even if you're not looking to be hired at the location of where we're hiring.
Right. And so, like, for your organization, Debbie, what type of people would you be looking for at this career fair? What kind of skills are they going to be needing?
Perfect. Well, we're looking for people with, again, a background in either engineering or IT. Those would be probably the two main focuses. And it would be people dealing with engineering, design, development for combat and communication systems, formerly in the military. So, for example, somebody who had been running the equipment on a shipboard, setting up messaging or setting up the back end of the network for communication. We have everything from people testing to make sure the equipment is working properly, to the guys that actually set up the networks, to the people that help to develop the new technologies that are going to be out there in the future.
Wow.
So we're kind of touching all aspects of it.
Yes, you are. Now, you mentioned earlier in the green room that you are an employee-owned company.
We are.
So first of all, tell our listeners again the name of the company and then talk about the ownership.
Sure. It's Tactical Engineering and Analysis. And what makes us, I think, unique out there, there's not a lot of companies out there structured in this manner, is that we're an ESOP. So what that means...
ESOP. E-S-O-P?
Correct.
All right.
What that means is that we are owned as a company by the employees. So for every day that you come into work, you know that the time that you're investing in your own future, because you're an owner of the company. You have a piece of it.
Oh.
So not only do we have a very generous 401k, the retirement plan, which the military guys get that when they've stayed in for the 20 years.
Right.
But simultaneously, are they also investing in their ESOP?
Wow.
So
and I think SAIC used to be the largest employee-owned company in San Diego. So are you guys like a little incubator SAIC kind of?
Exactly. Actually,
Man, that was the best thing going.
Before that, they sold off and they're no longer an ESOP.
Yeah, they're not. And there's not a lot of you guys out there.
Nope. So
very
the benefit
rare.
is if someday BAE or SAIC or somebody is tired of seeing us around in the competition were to buy us out as an employee, you're sitting on a nice investment.
Yeah.
So definitely.
So what are some of the other benefits of working for your company?
We have excellent benefits package, compensation package, especially for people coming out of the military who haven't had the exposure of the commercial world, don't realize that having 100% benefits paid like you do in the military is unheard of in the commercial world.
That's right.
So we pay up to 80% of entire family benefits for your medical and dental. And then, we have your vacation, your standard holidays. And depending on where you work in the organization, we work a government schedule of a 980, which means that you get every other Friday off with pay in addition to all your other benefits.
80% of my benefits paid for. I get 3-day weekends, plus I own a piece of the company. Where do I sign up?
There you go. Just give me a call.
All right, give our listeners your number. They're pulling off the freeway right now to write this down. Where do we find you?
The best way to reach me was either D. Tunnell at TAC-ENG.com, or they can reach me at 858-573-9869, and I'm extension 158.
And what is the website?
It's it would be TAC-ENG.com.
All right. Jermaine, any last parting thoughts? I know you got an event coming up.
All my vets, please come out August 19th to our career fair at Anchors Catering from 11 to 1. And we have 20 great companies looking to hire on the spot. So please pre-register so we can review your resume, send it to the employers, get you an interview, and hopefully get you hired.
You have a great success story. Like the last event you did, you had 40 interviews and 15 people got hired.
Absolutely. So we want to make it more than that.
With 20 companies, that's unheard of. Like you go to these huge events, they have hundreds of companies there and maybe somebody gets hired, but your ratio is remarkable. So you're obviously doing something right. Where do they go to register?
Please register at jobfairs.hiregi.org. jobfairs.hiregi.org.
Awesome. Jermaine Higgins, thank you so much. Debbie, thank you for being here. Thanks for all you guys are doing to get our veterans hired.
Absolutely.
You're listening to Brave Radio in partnership with Military Mondays here on KCBQ AM 1170, streaming live on the web at am1170theanswer.com. Follow us on Twitter at Brave Jobs or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the latest news and trends. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, and we will be right back. Don't go away.
Hey, boss.
Yeah.
I need to hire someone. Our workload's increased and man, I could use some help.
What are you looking for?
I need someone unlike Ben, who doesn't freak out, when the copier breaks and the phones are down and the receptionist calls in sick.
What do you need?
Leadership. I need a leader who can just get it done with little direction and ahead of time would be great. With the prima donnas floating around our department like Sally and Jason, it's a challenge, man, to get things done. I need a team player, trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, and adaptable to change.
There's only one place you're going to find talent like that.
Show me where.
Our United States veterans. Call Eve right now at 619-244-3000 or log on to thebrave.us and let's hire a veteran. It's good for business. It's good for America.
Brave is a part of America's largest service-disabled veteran-owned business, Amerit Consulting. We are dedicated to placing great companies with great veterans. Call today. Tired of your employees being late?
There was so much traffic.
Tired of poor excuses and poor presentations?
My kid ate my homework.
Tired of employees just not being able to handle the pressure?
You mean I gotta work a full 8 hours today?
Skip the hassles and excuses and hire individuals that are trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, adaptable to change, and focused on teamwork. Hire a veteran. More than just a patriotic gesture, hiring a veteran of the United States military comes with a host of benefits and tax credits and can provide your company with valuable leadership, organization, and accountability. Allow the Brave to help your progressive business connect with qualified veteran candidates today and find out more by visiting thebrave.us. That's THEBRAVE.us. Welcome back. You're listening to Brave Radio in partnership with Military Mondays here on KCBQ AM 1170, streaming live on the web at am1170theanswer.com. As promised, we have the amazing Walter Dixon with us, the founder of Thermcor. He's now blushing. Welcome, Walter.
Hello.
So tell us, you are a disabled veteran?
Yes, ma'am.
Where did you serve?
I was in the Navy. I served in Virginia.
Wow.
6 years, proudly.
Yeah. And then you got out. How was your transition? Was that a hard thing for you?
No, I mean, being in Virginia, there's a lot of shipyard trades. What I did in the military was applicable to what I did in the civilian world, so there was a lot of opportunities for us.
You know what I find, Walter, is a lot of veterans make natural entrepreneurs. There's so many companies out there that are started by veterans, and our Fortune 500 companies have veterans at the top, CEOs. Leadership is paramount. That's what you guys have embedded in you from the time you leave boot camp. It's how to lead, how to follow. So talk about how you started Thermcor and what the company does.
Thermcor was founded basically in 2000. We were formulated to be incorporated in 2003. Started this out of my garage with me and my brother.
Oh my gosh.
As I would say, with a credit card and a prayer.
Wow.
And was fortunate, was given the insight to be able to be in the industry like I have and been doing it for 32 years overall.
Right.
And was given many opportunities that were out there for veterans and utilized it when we got ourselves enlisted in 2006 with the 8A program in Virginia, which is for small disabled veteran-owned businesses. Entrepreneurial business.
Yes.
Not so much disabled, but,
Right.
But that gave us an opportunity to take the company to a different level and enhance what we do.
You are an inspiration. A lot of people start in business. Did you have mentors around you to help you?
A lot of people that I talked to that gave me inspiration, yes.
Yeah. What were some of the lessons that you learned over the last 16 years?
Never give up.
Never give up. Winston Churchill. Never give up.
Never give up.
So some of the setbacks, have you had some setbacks and had to overcome?
There were some setbacks in my life, mostly personal, the loss of my father at an early age. And got divorced at an early age. Changed my life a little bit to become a single father at the same time I was trying to be an entrepreneur.
Wow.
So.
Okay. Oh my gosh. You know what? I think single moms, we get the support and we get the high fives, but people don't think about single dads. Mm-hmm. And you're an entrepreneur.
Thank you.
Wow. I applaud you. So then you met Angelica.
Yes.
Hola, Angelica. Hola. So talk about your background. You were human resources, and you're obviously working with Thermcor and Walter, but your background was HR. You worked at Cricket?
I worked at Cricket, worked at other
other firms within HR in San Diego, completed my master's in HR, and then found Walter. Was able to create a wonderful partnership and help him run his business here and the HR side and the operations side.
And you guys are growing and expanding, and obviously because of your background and your industry, which I want you to talk about, you're looking to hire veterans. Yes. And there's a passion there.
Yes.
Now, do you see, Walter, it's kind of a loaded question, but because you are one, but what are some of the differences that you see for our listeners out there who may have a choice between hiring a veteran or a civilian? Can you talk about the differences that you get as an employee hiring a veteran?
I believe that veterans are more committed to what they do. Mm-hmm. They're more or regimentated. They understand the commitment that is involved. They're more mature in their decision making. They're our future.
They are. Well said. Well said.
Amen to that.
Yeah. Amen to that indeed. Yes. So, Angelica, you are in HR. Now you're responsible for finding additional employees. So would you echo what he said? And if you said no, he wouldn't fire you.
Right. Well, it's funny because I have family members who are also in the military. So I have that aspect of it. And so I get to touch it a little bit more deeper. One of the things that I always tell them is you're not doing us a favor. Not only it's almost like, it's a big circle of where you have the leadership coming from them.
Right.
They come in trained. A lot of them have the certificates. A lot of them have the degrees. A lot of them have the wherewithal to handle the changing, atmosphere that is in our industry and any industry, right? So I always tell them, you are such an asset to us, and a lot of those employees have less employee issues, because they're more of the mindset of how can I help you,
right?
Let's build a team environment versus
what are you going to do for me?
What are you going to do for me, and what can I get from you?
You're listening to Brave Radio in partnership with Military Mondays here on KCBQ AM 1170, streaming live on the web at am1170theanswer.com. Follow us on Twitter at Brave Jobs or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the latest news and trends. I am your host, Eve Nasby, here in studio with Walter Dixon from Thermcor, the founder, also service-disabled veteran, and Angelica, his amazing HR person, et cetera, et cetera. So we're talking about why you guys hire veterans, what's in it for you. So are there some positions right now that you have open or coming up in the future, because I know it's probably contract-driven, that our listeners might be interested in?
We are hiring in different areas. So we're looking at project managers. So we're looking for people who are willing to be coached, as well as a higher level project managers. And then we're also looking at installers, people who, have the knowledge in lagging, welding.
Lagging?
Yeah.
Lagging. We were just talking about that.
Military.
Hi, I specialize in lagging.
Right.
What is lagging?
So I think Walter could tell you more about.
All right, Walter, what is lagging?
On board ships, the term lagging is used for insulation, like you have in your home.
Okay.
It's in your walls, on your piping. On ships, they call it lagging, but it's insulation. It's thermal insulation. That's for conductivity of the thermodynamics and heats and the cold, whatever.
Right.
That's going to create an atmosphere within the ship. Mm-hmm. You want to control that. So.
Understood. So what other skills are you looking for? You got project management, lagging. I learned something new today.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Those are the most specific areas that we're looking for right now. Okay. But like you said, it's based on the contract work that we do. So it can always change. And we're also not only based in Virginia and in San Diego, but we're global. So we have jobs in Asia. We have jobs all over the place. I know in the past we've done a job in Croatia and that kind of thing. So even though it may seem like we're small, we're really not. We cover a lot of area.
So what is your specialty? What does your company do?
Primarily, we focus our attention in the niche market of insulation.
Okay.
Just like in your home, like I said earlier. That's our niche.
That's wonderful. So you specialize in that. So, Angelica, what else do you guys have going on?
So in conjunction with that, I am out doing a lot of business development and community work. And so lots of times I represent Thermcor. Prior to that, I had the opportunity to sit on the board with ANSO.
And what is ANSO?
ANSO is Association of Naval Services Officers, and they've been around since 1980. And what they do is it's a Latino organization that works with all the forces, helps them leverage themselves, write officer packages. They work in the community to attract, new people to come into the services,
right?
And then also to transition out. And so that's where an opportunity for me came up where, they needed help with resume writing.
Yeah.
And so I saw the need there, and now I've been asked to do monthly workshops with resume writing.
So give us a success story. These people come to you with all the acronyms on their resume, or it just simply says, I was a sniper.
Right.
How do you help them?
A few weeks ago, I had a resume for a colonel. And I was so honored, and I was like, oh my goodness, he's got this beautiful resume. We had a lot of acronyms on there that meant nothing to anybody but to put to him and his position. So I helped him rearrange some stuff, and I also helped him with his LinkedIn account, and kind of coached him through some things that I thought that he could benefit from. And now he's actively looking, and he's in the process of interviewing. Then we also have someone who we actually hired, someone who was coming in from the Air Force. He was a reservist. We were looking for a health and safety officer. Was able to change up his resume a bit. You know, he had that full binder of certificates, and we put down the most significant ones that we needed and put him in front of the right people, and who was hired.
That's great.
So, and what's even more, what a lot of employers need to understand is that not only are they coming in with the leadership skills and with the education, but if you hire reservists, lots of times they're still getting on the job training constantly. And if they're in the same industry as they are in the reserves and then in their career, it only behooves you to hire them because they're saving you a ton of money just in education and training and development.
Right.
So that's one of the things. Yeah.
Very good point.
Yeah.
Wow, what a great company, Thermcor. So how do our listeners find out more about you guys?
You can reach us at our website at www.thermcor.com.
THERMCOR? Thermcor.
And then you can also come to our offices. If you look us up, you can come to our offices, or you can call me directly and inquire about any positions.
Perfect. And your positions are also online at thermcor.com?
They are not.
They're not?
So because they're ever changing, right now it's more of a one-on-one
so just
thing.
Call you.
Right.
What's your number?
It's 858.
Is this your cell phone number?
It is my cell phone number, but it's my work number.
All right, guys, let's blow this thing up.
Yes. It's 858-344-1226.
One more time.
858-344-1226.
All right, Angelica. Yeah. Walter, thank you so much for starting this company, stepping out. It was a big deal for you to do this. A single parent, disabled vet. You had what people would think everything going against you, and yet you succeeded. And I firmly believe it's because of who you are, the military background that you have, and obviously the grace of God.
Amen.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here. Angelica, thank you for bringing him and bringing yourself. Thanks for all you're doing to help veterans with their resumes and hiring them. You guys are doing a great work here in San Diego. All right, Thermcor, let's get you more people hired. Thanks for hiring veterans.
Thank you.
You're listening to Brave Radio in partnership with Military Mondays here on KCBQ AM 1170, streaming live on the web at am1170theanswer.com. Follow us on Twitter at Brave Jobs or like us on Facebook to stay up to date with the latest news and trends. I'm your host, Eve Nasby, and we will be right back with our good friend from MVPVets. She's a Marine. She's a pistol packing mama, and she looks like a runway model. She's amazing. Juliana Mercer, don't go away.
Easter Seals Work First Military and Veteran Services provides free one-on-one personalized employment assistance for local veterans through their Bob Hope Veteran Support Program. Easter Seals' team of employment specialists is dedicated to achieving successful long-term job placements that benefit both the veteran and the employer. Learn more about how you can receive services, connect with a future employee, or make a donation by visiting easterseals.com/SouthernCal. That's easterseals.com/SouthernCal.
Hey, boss.
Yeah.
I need to hire someone. Our workload's increased, and man, I could use some help.
What are you looking for?
I need someone unlike Ben, who doesn't freak out, when the copier breaks and the phones are down and the receptionist calls in sick.
What do you need?
Leadership. I need a leader who can just get it done with little direction and ahead of time would be great. With the prima donnas floating around our department like Sally and Jason, it's a challenge, man, to get things done. I need a team player, trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, and adaptable to change.
There's only one place you're going to find talent like that.
Show me where.
Our United States veterans. Call Eve right now at 619-244-3000 or log on to thebrave.us and let's hire a veteran. It's good for business. It's good for America.
Brave is a part of America's largest service-disabled veteran-owned business, Amerit Consulting. We are dedicated to placing great companies with great veterans. Call today. Welcome back. You're listening to Brave Radio in partnership with Military Mondays, where we focus on matching veteran talent with innovative companies that make a difference in our community and in our nation. And as promised, we are in studio with the one and only Juliana Mercer. Juliana, welcome.
Hi, Eve.
Hi. So you are representing MVPVets, which is doing an amazing work in helping people find jobs. But I think first we should start with your story because you have a really cool story. Let's start with your mom first. Like she's doing some crazy stuff over in Arizona.
Yeah, I think she's at the RNC right now. I just saw a picture on Facebook of her holding up some Warrior Foundation flyers that she handed off to some of our politicians out there so they can help support us.
Yeah.
Local San Diego nonprofit.
Yeah. And so she was in politics. She ran for office.
She did. She ran for Congress a couple of times and unfortunately didn't get the seat. But yeah, she's very active and involved in her community and
And now you are following suit. You joined the Marines, which I'm sure made her proud and scared at the same time.
Yes.
Her baby in the Marines, carrying the M16, the 9mm.
Yeah.
And so what did you do? She wanted you to be a ballerina. You look like a ballerina. You look like a gun-toting ballerina. No. So tell us about your career in the Marines.
Yeah, so I'm in the inactive reserve. So I've been in the Marine Corps. It'll be 15 years this August. I did 11 active and reserve. And now I'm inactive, but I still am in the Marine Corps. 8 of those years were doing civil affairs, which is a job that works with the communities in which we're deployed. So we work with their governments or their tribes or the local town people to help them rebuild, restructure their communities and their government, infrastructure, schools, and even small business grants for women, entrepreneurs, all types of different things to help those communities rebuild after a conflict has happened.
Our military is amazing. Like, I don't know that a lot of our listeners know that, or at least when I think of military, I think, you go in, you deploy, you fight, you leave, but you are describing almost like this humanitarian organization that goes in.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think a lot of folks in the military don't even know that we do that. We're a very small contingent of the military.
Wow.
I know the Marine Corps has a very small civil affairs contingency. The Army has a much larger civil affairs group.
Wow.
But we run behind the warfighter and kind of, I don't want to say clean up, but when something happens in a village, say a fence gets knocked down and the goats get out of their pen and this farmer's livelihood is gone through that hole in the fence because one of our tanks accidentally ran over the fence. We go and we help that goat owner get his goats back. So we give him money, he buys more goats, and he can continue on his livelihood. So we try to not affect the civilian population as much as possible and help them to not have to suffer because of the conflict that's going on.
And it goes beyond us knocking down a fence with one of our tanks. It's that we don't have to be in error in order for us to be reaching out and helping, right? The proactivity of what we're doing. That's awesome. And your compassion shows so much. You can tell that you care about people. And now that's spilling over to MVPVets. So tell us about that organization.
Yeah. So I, after doing the civil affairs, I worked here in San Diego locally at the Wounded Warrior Battalion. That's at the Naval Hospital in Balboa. And one of my jobs was helping our Marines transition either into the civilian world through college or education or a career, or back into the military. And all these employers were running around saying, we hire veterans, we hire wounded warriors. And when I'd show up at their doorstep and say, I have this wounded warrior that needs a job, they'd say, oh, not that wounded warrior.
No.
Because they didn't understand. Yeah.
The little Irish and German in me just went up. Oh, my gosh.
Most of our warfighters are grunts. And most organizations don't know how to translate a grunt into something at their corporation. So it wasn't because they didn't want to, it's just because they didn't understand how to. They didn't realize that even though this person was running around as a grunt in the military, they learned all these different skills, leadership, HR. They were taking care of their troops in so many different ways, learning how to do logistics and supply and make sure that everything is at the right place at the right time. And so the skills that they had were transferable, but the employers just didn't realize how to make that translation. And the veterans didn't know how to make that translation for themselves.
Exactly.
So, I learned really quickly that was the problem. And it's 8 years later, now with MedTech and Biotech Veterans Program, MVPVets for short. So we focus on helping transitioning veterans and recent veterans find careers in the life science industry. And these jobs aren't, when you hear life science, you think of a scientist.
Right, or a chemist working with his beakers or
so these jobs are, exactly, lab coats.
Right, lab coats.
So the jobs are everything from entry level to executive level, whether it's in the marketing department or finance department, or you're wearing a lab coat and mixing Petri dishes and creating formulas, or you're manufacturing or engineering. So we have every type of job that helps create that end product for these medtech, biotech, and pharma companies is the type of jobs that we're helping these veterans fit into.
You're listening to Brave Radio in partnership with Military Mondays, where we focus on matching veteran talent with innovative companies that make a difference in our community and in our nation. We're here with Juliana Mercer from MVPVets. And you know what? You dispelled some of those myths out there, because a lot of companies will think, that veteran, I can't hire a veteran because they don't have a biology background. They don't have a chemistry background. So I'll just continue to look in the civilian population. And we are Biotech Beach here in San Diego. So you do med tech, you're trying to push into biotech. So for our listeners out there, if you've got positions open in biotech, I want you to call Juliana Mercer, get a hold of MVPVets, because they have some amazing talent for you. So talk about this service that you have for clients, or companies, you're pushing the veterans to the companies through what means?
So we do a couple of different things. One of the things that we do that's kind of a live event, we will we'll go to one of our host companies and they will do a day-long seminar. Veterans will come in, but they'll also bring in their HR folks, their hiring managers, and veterans within the company that have successfully transitioned into a life science career. So we bring the veterans and the companies together and teach them about each other, and really dispel those myths of, these veterans, they don't understand what the veterans are doing in their day-to-day jobs in the military. So some of these hiring managers that have they don't understand the military. They don't have any experience with military folks.
I was going to say they don't have a clue, but you don't have experience. Because I was in that, totally. I am confessing. I didn't have any idea.
And it's just, it's a really simple problem to fix, just helping them to know the types of jobs that are in the military. So we have finance, we have a marketing team in the military, we have our own operations folks, supply, logistics.
HR. I saw a statistic the other day. There are 53,000 HR positions in the military.
Yes. So, and they're handling our payroll, they're handling our housing, they're handling our awards, everything. So they're handling all of our HR stuff. But yeah, so we have the same entities inside of a corporation. We have folks in the military doing that job as well.
So how can the veterans, and I'm assuming there is no cost, it's free, right, for them to register with you. How does that happen?
It is. So a veteran would go to mvpvets.org. They would register as a veteran. And once they register, they have access to hundreds of e-learning courses that's provided by Life Collaborative. And there's a few certifications on there. So earlier, the other company had talked about needing program and project managers.
Thermcor, yes.
So we have a project management certification program that a veteran can go through for free. Like, it would cost them a couple $1,000s.
Is that the PMP program?
Yeah. So
and they can go and get it for free through you.
Right. So they would they would get all the hours that they needed to take the test to be certified as a PMI or PMP. So that's one of our certification programs. We have a med tech and a biotech certification as well. So if a veteran wants to go the more science-based route or the medical technology route, they can take these courses and get a better understanding of the industry. And we have a leaderology course in business.
Leaderology, the study of being a leader. I love it.
And Business 101. So we have those certifications. And then we have hundreds of other courses that, so say you're interested in manufacturing, and as a veteran, you're not really sure what that entails because you've not been in the corporate setting. So you can go and take this quick 20-minute course on manufacturing and get a better understanding of the industry inside of medtech and biotech. We also have a job fast pass, which helps you from everything to resume writing, LinkedIn, what you should be wearing to an interview, how to handle phone interviews and Skype interviews. So we have a whole package that will help you with everything and anything job prep.
What a great program. And now, how do the companies get a hold of you? And I'm assuming then they get to sponsor the event. They get a chance to come to your career fairs and meet the people. How does that work for the companies?
So companies can also register on our website. When they register, they get a connection to meet with me. And so we'll have a phone call and discuss how we can work together to help them bring more veterans in. Also, we can sit down and teach their hiring managers, their HR folks, the ins and outs of veteran hiring. But they also have access to all of the veterans that are in our network. So right now, I think we just reached 1,450 veterans. We have 250 mentors that are registered. So the veterans have access to mentors who are either just patriots that want to help, but for the most part are veterans who have successfully transitioned into life sciences and are there to answer every and any question that a veteran has about that transition, whether it's, I'm not sure what type of certifications I need to be a forklift driver in a warehouse, to what education did you get to become a lab technician?
Right.
So everything and anything that these veterans have questions about, we have subject matter experts standing by that can connect with them and help them through that process. And it's also an amazing network to, just referrals, everything that network is in place to help the veteran successfully transition. And the companies have access to that database of veterans. So they're able to look for veterans that fit specific jobs that they're looking to fill. So everyone's just connected. Once they get into MVPVets.org, register, they'll have access to each other, to our programs, and our events that we do.
That's so great. Juliana, Mercer, we're running out of time. Thank you again for being here. And thank you for all that you're doing to continue to support the mission of helping our veterans, and obviously now with employment. So MVP, M as in Mary, V as in Victor, P as in Peter.
Echo as in echo.
You're going to give me that
as in echo.
official stuff, aren't you? MVPVets.org.
Yeah, and it's plural, so there's an S after.
Awesome. Juliana, thank you again. Thank you for your service. And thanks for all you're doing for our vets. Thanks for being here with us. What a privilege.
Thank you, Eve.
All right. You're listening to Brave Radio in partnership with Military Mondays right here on KCBQ AM 1170. We're going to be right back with some other amazing individuals that you guys are not going to want to miss, and somebody who has made my life a lot easier. So don't go away. Tired of your employees being late?
There was so much traffic.
Tired of poor excuses and poor presentations?
My kid ate my homework.
Tired of employees just not being able to handle the pressure?
You mean I gotta work a full 8 hours today?
Skip the hassles and excuses and hire individuals that are trained in leadership, confident in their abilities, adaptable to change, and focused on teamwork. Hire a veteran. More than just a patriotic gesture, hiring a veteran of the United States military comes with a host of benefits and tax credits and can provide your company with valuable leadership, organization, and accountability. Allow the brave to help your progressive business connect with qualified veteran candidates today and find out more by visiting thebrave.us. That's THEBRAVE.us.
Easter Seals Work First Military and Veteran Services provides free one-on-one personalized employment assistance for local veterans through their Bob Hope Veteran Support Program. Easter Seals' team of employment specialists is dedicated to achieving successful, long-term job placements that benefit both the veteran and the employer. Learn more about how you can receive services, connect with a future employee, or make a donation by visiting easterseals.com/SouthernCal. That's easterseals.com/SouthernCal.
I'm your host, Eve Nasby, here on Brave Radio in partnership with Military Mondays on KCBQ AM 1170, streaming live on the web at am1170theanswer.com. With us in studio is Robert Pahina with My Handyman Tech. And I mentioned before, you've made my life a lot easier. So welcome to the studio.
Thank you, Eve.
And you're here because you do an amazing service for those of us in San Diego who either are married to somebody who doesn't know how to fix or change a light bulb, or who are single and need stuff done around the house, right? So tell us about your company.
Well, we're basically a handyman company that basically provides handyman services, which we come out and we pretty much have a structure where we come out once a week and for a monthly fee and take care of anything from let's see here, painting, electrical, plumbing, carpentry, drywall repair, you name it. And basically, we come out in our marked company vehicle, uniformed handyman comes out, presentable, and does a professional job each time they come out. And we're pretty much trying to provide, a customized job for you, for each person, trying to have a fully functional home for you, a comfortable home. That's what we're trying to provide.
And I love it because I can have anything go wrong with my house, and I know that once a week you're going to be out there without fail, on time, and you're going to fix it.
Right.
And it's on my list, and then it's off my list, and then I can put more stuff on my list for you to do. Right. And it doesn't matter if it's outside. You do painting, the trim on the house. You can do the weed whacking. You can fix broken banisters, broken toilets, broken showers. Right.
Right.
Electrical
that's
stuff.
Right.
Everything.
Right.
And it's an amazing thing too to call servicemen, people, not our military, but servicemen to fix plumbing. You have to call a different person for electrical. You call a different person for painting. You're a one-stop shop.
Right, exactly. And that's one thing that we tend to get is people tell us, okay, well, usually we get a specific tradesman, like for example, like an electrician or a plumber, and they come and do a specific job, and then they just leave it halfway. Like if they make a big hole to do an electrical job, and then they say, well, you know what, I'm sorry, that's as far as I go. I just do electrical, and you have to get somebody else to do, the drywall. But, when you come with us, we, exactly like you said, we're a one-stop shop. So we take care of, from A to B, or A to Z actually. So, and we do it from beginning to end, every phase of building maintenance and we even do yard work as well. So
I love that part. My daughter wanted to know if you could pick up the dog stuff. And I said, no, that's your job. You get paid to do that. Those are your dogs.
Right. I mean, and with that being said, I mean, yeah, we help, people with their to-do list, and so that's.
Yeah. And you brought somebody with you who is another great testimony. And actually his company is how I found you. And that's the Buy One, Get One Free magazine. So let's introduce your friend.
So this is a
customer.
One of my clients here that his name is Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Hi, Eve. Thanks a lot for having us on your show.
Hey, you're welcome. And you know what? One of the things we love to do is talk about hiring veterans. And obviously, Robert, you're growing and expanding in the San Diego community, and you want to hire veterans. And I think you had some good points about that, Scott.
Oh, I think it's a great idea. For me, I mean, going back a moment, we have owned our house for 20 years, and we have remodeled or fixed every single square inch of it, literally, over the last 20 years, including adding some square inches to it as well.
Okay.
Over time, that's created quite a long list. My wife and I affectionately refer to it as the honeydew list. Honeydew this, honeydew that.
Right.
And yet, neither of us has a passion for that as a hobby. And so I think rather than working hard all week and coming home on the weekends and then working hard on the house, we'd prefer to spend time with one another and bring Robert in every week.
There you go.
Which has been absolutely perfect.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, on time every week, same day, same time, first thing in the morning. I come home from work, the job is done. Our task list, which used to be mental, is now physically written.
That feels good, doesn't it?
And we
mark it off.
Cross one off the list every week. It is so awesome. But yeah, to your point, that only works when you have somebody you can trust. And we trust Robert. So if he is going to expand his business, and I think he's actively going to do that, having military personnel in your home doing work like this is a perfect fit.
Yep, they're going to get it done right the first time. And if something goes wrong, they're going to be able to fix it. They're not just going to walk off the job and go, oops, sorry.
Right. That's correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, we're running out of time. So how do people get a hold of you and all the wonderful services that you do?
So basically, they can reach us at our number at 619-825-3355, and also email info at myhandymantech.com, and also our website, which is exactly that, myhandymantech.com.
All right, give that number out one more time.
It's 619-825-3355.
Easy to remember. Put it on your speed dial. You will need him.
Absolutely.
Yeah, at one point, everybody needs a handyman.
That's it. Some of us need him more than others. Well, Robert, thank you. Scott, thanks for being here. He's an amazing person, isn't he?
He really is.
Love this guy.
Lucky to have him.
Thank you.
I know. Well, that has been an amazing show, you guys. I'm Eve Nasby. You've been listening to Brave Radio. We've had some fantastic people here. If you're a veteran, you're looking for work, I want you to give us a call, 619-244-3000. If you're a company looking to hire veterans, give us a call, 619-244-3000. We're privileged to be here on air, courtesy of Military Mondays. If you want to find out more about how you can hire veteran talent, or if you're interested in being a guest on our show, give us a tweet at Brave Jobs or like our Facebook page. Jump on our website at www.thebrave.us. Now, from all of our guests and me, thanks for joining us. And may God bless our veterans and God bless America.
Thanks for listening to Brave Radio. If you know a veteran looking for work, or if your company is hiring, call Eve at Brave. at 619-244-3000. Give her a tweet at Brave Jobs and connect with them on Facebook. To be a guest on the show, visit thebrave.us.